The weather today here in Chicago is quite cold actually, a little too cold compared to the usual normal temperatures that hit the Chicago area. Right now, it is 45 degrees and the low today will go between 25 to 30. The normal temperature on the 24th of October is between 59 to 65 with the low usually around 40 to 45. But, for this day here in 2021, we are seeing some cold temperatures. If you have to be out tonight, get that coat. We have a report in Gary, Indiana. There has been a gang shooting there, but the victim happens to be some unknown creature that has come from a possibly haunted house. No further details are provided at this time on what happened here. But since we've already had zombies and aliens, I'd imagine this news is true. Stay tuned for more details. In other news, Caitlyn Jenner is looking to go back to being a man.
WRQ time is 4:25 p.m. Gary Police and also the Indiana State Police do confirm that this shooting ended with the death of something inhuman, but details are sketchy. The Indiana State Police are stating that they are handing this over to the FBI. Shortly after 1 p.m. Central Time, a gang shooting was reported and cops arrived to the scene with the gang of 4 men surrounding the inhuman victim. This creature, if one wants to call it that, reportedly came out of a noted haunted house. Moving on to another creature, Caitlyn Jenner, formerly known as Bruce, has announced that she will receive another sex change to go back to being a male. Jenner has recently expressed her depression due to being female and now wishes to go back to her original gender. Hey, I don't know why this is news. We will be going to traffic and weather on the 8s right after this commercial. We have some colder than usual weather on the way. Be right back.
This is an administrative alert from the emergency alert system. Residents of the villages of Leonard, Lackville, and Dryden are to shelter in place at this time. Residents of the cities or villages of Almont, Romeo, Matamora and Imlay City are to stay alert. An incident similar to the Gary, Indiana incident that occurred about 12 hours ago is currently in progress north of the village of Leonard. Residents driving in Addison Township are highly advised to stay on paved roads. Rochester Road between Leonard Road and Hawk Road is closed at this time due to the police presence. All residents who are within a 10-mile radius of Leonard, if you see anything unusual, please call 911 immediately. Stay tuned to further updates on local media. This concludes this alert from the emergency alert system.
Hello? Hello? What the fuck? Who is this? Wherever you doing this shit got some nerve, why don't you come to my doorstep? I'll put a fucking shotgun shell in you. Hello? Hello? What in the hell?
Liberty 10, what's your 20?
Cruising west on State Route 20 between Bristol and White Springs.
Please investigate activity at the abandoned Gatorfield Psych Hospital. Reports of an alarm going off. Seeing lights.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that.
Liberty 8, do you copy?
Liberty 8.
A male 911 caller stating his wife is constantly getting prank called. They are freaking out about it. The address is at 408 Griswold Street in Bristol.
Heading over there.
Liberty 6, do you copy?
Liberty 6.
Can you back up Liberty 10?
Little far away, but I'll be down there soon.
For weather this morning, unseasonably cold and it's here to stay. It's currently 33 in Detroit right now and about 31 in Rochester Hills. Drivers, be careful because it might be a little slick out there. Usually on this day in October, the average high is around 55 and the low 40. And this cold is here to stay, and we will have a more in-depth forecast later calling for some possible snow later this week. We here at WRQ apologize for remarks made about Caitlyn Jenner. At around 4 p.m. yesterday afternoon, WRQ's Rod Cambridge made some harsh remarks about her and he has been suspended for 1 day. He is sorry for this. Breaking news coming into the WRQ newsroom. According to the Oakland County Scanner, 2 creatures have escaped the home in question north of Leonard. The scanner has not indicated anything further on what these creatures are. One could guess these 2 may also be similar to the findings in Gary. We also have other breaking news coming in Florida. CBS reports that a possible supernatural incident in a town called Bristol. They are trying to gather information.
Ten is not responding on radio. He is not answering the phone.
Heading over there.
All available units. The sheriff is calling for all available units to head straight to Gatorfield Psych Hospital. Again, the sheriff is calling for all available units to head straight to Gatorfield Psych Hospital.
7 to dispatch.
Yes, 7?
There's some kind of demonic figure heading towards me. About to open fire. Shots fired! Shots fired!
All units head to Gatorville. Dispatch to 7. Do you copy? Dispatch to 7. Do you copy? What in the blue hell was that?
Hi, I'm Dr. Victoria Zdrock, and welcome to Men's Minute. As an interpersonal relationship specialist, I've heard from thousands of women about their disappointment with the size and virility of their male partner. Guys, don't let this be you. What would you give to know you'll never disappoint? What would you give to know your partners will never give a negative review? What would you give to be one of those guys? You know the ones I'm talking about. Girls flock to them. Guys want to be them. But what separates you from that guy? It's what he's
The emergency alert system has been activated to transmit this message. An incident has occurred between Bristol and White Springs in Liberty County. Residents are to shelter in place at this time due to this incident. Please do not use the phone, and keep the line clear for emergencies. County sheriffs and Florida state troopers are responding to a paranormal incident at an abandoned psychiatric hospital. Civil authorities and state government may also get the Florida National Guard involved. There are reports of strange phone calls to residents living close to the hospital. If you receive this call, ignore it and hang up. Please stay tuned for further information as it becomes available.
a 14-day free trial. It's a known fact. Most women prefer larger, more confident men. Isn't it time you stepped up to the plate and delivered?
Authorities are surrounding the North Leonard home, and also many are in that village. This was due to the two escaped figures. One was shot and killed by FBI agents inside of Leonard. The other was killed northwest of Romeo in Macomb County. This is also close to proving grounds where automated vehicles are tested. Security is in this area at the time. Going to Florida, authorities in the state confirmed that they have killed 3 demonic figures of a large size. Not much information has been provided by news sources at this time. However, if you search on YouTube, audio from the Liberty County scanner features a cop stating he was firing at a demonic figure, later screaming. The status of the said officer is unknown at this time. With this situation going here, Indiana and Florida, traffic and weather on the 8s will be limited. WRQ breaking news coming into the newsroom. Authorities state that a 21-year-old Leonard resident by the name of Betsy Hassler is currently missing. She had left her job at 1 a.m. in Chesterfield and has not been heard from since. She is not answering her phone and authorities cannot ping her phone. If you have
You are listening to WSOL 1130 AM, Christian radio based in Summit County, Ohio. We now return to the Pastor Haney Show.
You are listening to me, Reverend Paul Haney, and we have big news today due to the events happening yesterday afternoon to this morning. Folks, hell is on earth. Of course, the media doesn't want to tell you this, but it is very true. Hell is on earth. It is written on Matthew chapter 8 verse 29, "And behold the evil spirits cried out, saying, What have we to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of God? Art thou come hither to torment us before the time?" And also, if you are paying attention to the news, a total of 18 people were killed in Liberty County in Florida. Liberty County is the least populated county in Florida. Imagine, if you will, one of these gates of hell opening in an urban area. There will be more death and destruction. I urge you, the listeners here, to pray with me. But first, we are taking your donations at the ministry. Call us at 330-555-2980 to make your donation to the Paul Haney Ministries. We are planning a trip to Gary, Indiana, as we are doing a special Wednesday. Your donations help us with that trip. Again, the number is 333-555-2980.
This is Alison Torrance here at WGP. We now see that President Brock has made her way to the podium. Let's listen in.
Citizens, I will not be taking any questions right now. Yesterday afternoon into this morning, we have seen supernatural beings exiting from homes or abandoned places. The FBI is present in the said areas. We are unsure of where these demonic figures are coming from. We also note that this is something under the supernatural category, and we are seeking help from our spiritual advisor. The investigations are still continuing at this time for Leonard, Michigan, Gary, Indiana, and also in Liberty County, Florida, where the last mention, we have suffered through a tremendous loss. The FBI will continue to investigate, and, although I wish like hell not to say this, but I might have to use the EAS to get more messages through if this situation continues to get worse. I pray that it doesn't. In 2019, we had zombies, and we were able to stop that problem within a day. Last year, we had aliens, and we were able to stop that within a few days. I'm confident that whatever this is, we will stop it, and we'll stop it quickly. When it comes to curfews and restrictions to any states not affected by any of these tragedies, I'm leaving it up to the governors of these states to determine safety procedures and curfews. As of now, the FBI will be present in Leonard, Michigan, with residents needing to see the FBI before leaving that town, and also we are putting heavy restrictions on people entering and leaving Liberty County, Florida. I also advise all citizens that if you see something out of the ordinary, please call 911 immediately. During the zombie tragedy in Detroit 2 years back, gangs in Detroit had assisted in the fight against the zombies, which later led to 2 of them accidentally getting shot by the National Guard in the city of East Point, Michigan. I strongly emphasize that all citizens not to assist in this fight against these demonic figures, unless it's absolutely necessary. Thank you, and I'm afraid that's all I have now.
WRQAM, Detroit's all-news station.
Willie Barman with you here at WRQ, taking over for Rod Cambridge today. Sad news to report once again, the remains of 21-year-old Betsy Hassler have been found south of Who Road, just east of Rochester Road, north of Lakeville. FBI is present in Leonard, and you'll need to go through the FBI to get in or out of that town. There is a heavy FBI presence along with the military around the said home and traffic ain't passing. If you need to go around that area or up to Lapeer County today, take M24 or M53 instead. Authorities in Oakland County and Lapeer County are advising people not to drive on the dirt roads in these areas tonight, and shelter is being offered to people living in Leonard or around the area of Rochester. A heavy FBI presence is also in Liberty County, Florida. The FBI isn't happy with a Twitter user who had taken a photo of one of the creatures after it was killed. Some users tweeted that the creature, if one can call it that, looks similar to the Keiko demons in the classic video game Doom. WRQ will be on all night long. We are 24 hours a day, and we will continue to breaking news. This might cause a delay to our traffic and weather on the 8s. Breaking news coming into the WRQ newsroom. We have an incident involving a home in Amityville, New York. Local authorities and New York State troopers are by the home. It is not known yet what exactly is happening over there, but some small sources state a few creatures left a house and were roaming the city. News is breaking here. Amityville is in the Long Island area.
The emergency alert system has been activated to transmit this administrative message. New York 1 along with state civil authorities will assist in this transmission. An incident involving supernatural creatures has been reported in Amityville. At 4:55 p.m., 3 human-like creatures exited an abandoned home, and have caused damage to property, and had killed 4 people. Police were sent to the area, and had successfully killed these 3 creatures. However, more of these human-like creatures continue to exit this abandoned house. We urge all residents to stay away from this home on 3466 Deborah Drive. All residents of Amityville are asked to stay in their homes at this time. If you see any of these creatures, do not approach. Please call 911 immediately. If you do have weapons and the police cannot come to intervene, a few shots from a shotgun aimed at their faces is the best course in killing these creatures. This concludes this message from the emergency alert system.
Breaking news coming into the WGP newsroom. This is Paul Page. Some interesting information coming from the Amityville police scanner. They are now saying that this house in Amityville has a portal in the basement. Now we last reported that not only Amityville police are at the scene, but also New York State troopers and even the FBI. There hasn't been a creature that has exited the house since around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. our time. It came from the scanner just a short while ago that civil authorities have went down the basement and found a portal in which these creatures supposedly came from. Amityville is the subject of a possibly true story of a family that moved to this said home and left after 4 weeks due to claims of extreme paranormal activity back in the 1970s. A book was written about it and also movies were made. Another piece of breaking news: an injured resident in Liberty County, Florida has died of her injuries sustained in this morning tragedy that befell the county. The resident has been identified as 64-year-old Yvette Danielson. This is the 14th person to die due to the tragedy. We are keeping tabs on the other 2 situations in Michigan and Gary, Indiana, but not much is coming from those.
Please stay tuned to the following message from the President of the United States.
Citizens, last night going into this evening, we've had to deal with 4 situations of supernatural proportions. Our civil authorities and National Guard from Michigan, Florida, and recently New York had to deal with fighting monsters coming from some unknown location, or, dare I say, a different world. Not only am I seeking advice from our generals in our 4 branches of the military, but also advice from our spiritual advisors as well. Shortly before 5 p.m., authorities went to a noted haunted home in Amityville, New York. Upon arriving, they had seen 3 demonic beings destroying property and killing 5 people who happened to live nearby, or just happened to be in the area. More demonic beings were coming out of the house, as local officers, and later New York State troopers, and the FBI assisted in ending this threat. Along with this house, the home in question in Leonard, Michigan, and also the abandoned psychiatric hospital, we are scheduling to demolish these places. On advice of my cabinet, we have better chances of ending the threat if these 4 homes are demolished. All times listed are Eastern Standard Time. The home in Leonard, Michigan will be demolished at 9 p.m. the abandoned psychiatric home in Florida at 10 p.m., the Gary, Indiana home at 10:30 p.m., and the Amityville, New York home at 11 p.m. Arrangements have been made for nearby residents as they leave to stay away from this. We apologize for this inconvenience. Citizens, I ask you to stay safe. Please call 911 or the FBI if you see anything out of the ordinary. Thank you.
God damn. What the hell?
This is WSOL 1130 AM, broadcasting religious content for Summit County, Ohio, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. WSOL features Reverend Paul Haney mornings, Jay Thompson while at lunchtime, Reverend Don Jeffrey during the afternoon hours, a community table at 7 p.m. on Monday through Wednesday. A full schedule can be found at www.wsol.radio. WSOL is located in the town of Swindleburg Heights, Ohio, broadcasting at
For railroad fare. She's collected over $10,000 in 14 months.
Oh, yes. This is the girl you were telling me about.
Yeah, I have her arrested this morning.
Is she outside?
Yes.
Well, send her in, please.
Why, she's beautiful.
Take her in.
Does this bring back memory?
Lovely one. Now I know what I missed all the time I was away.
Does that include...
This is a message from the Emergency Alert System. WQQT along with the Ohio Emergency Center or OEC will participate with this administrative message. Residents of Summit County are urged not to enter the village limits of Swindleburg Heights. Civil authorities have reported that some of the residents have died under mysterious circumstances. Civil authorities in the area are working with paranormal experts to find an answer on how some of the residents have died. It is yet unknown on when this occurrence had happened, but there is some speculation that this had happened at around 9:50 p.m. Civil authorities have now blocked off the 3 roads that go into Swindleburg Heights. If you have loved ones in Swindleburg Heights, please do not contact them. A hotline for families will be provided soon. Black shadowy figures with the ability to fly are currently roaming the village limits. If you enter Swindelberg Heights, you risk your own life. Please do not enter this area at this time. This concludes this message from the emergency alert system. This is an administrative alert from the emergency alert system. Civil authorities have stated large demonic creatures were able to exit the Amityville home just seconds before being demolished. Civil authorities, the FBI and New York National Guard are fighting these demonic beings at this time. All residents of Long Island are urged to shelter in place at this time. Do not leave your homes, or you put yourself at great risk. Civil authorities report that about 7 of these figures exited the home before the explosion. These figures are large, and can hover over 5 feet. They are considered very dangerous. The use of heavy guns is needed in killing these beings. Again, all residents in Long Island are to shelter in place until further notice. Please stay tuned to local media for further information.
WRQ breaking news. It's me, Rod. I'm back and taking over for Russ, who fell ill today. Don't worry, Russ. I believe ya. All 7 demons that had left the Amityville home before the explosion are now dead. 5 of them were taken care of within the Amityville city limits, while 2 were able to escape town. One of these monsters are demons. They're demons. Got close to Manhattan before being killed. The other got to a wealthy neighborhood where 2 armed civilians reportedly carrying an AR-15 each killed that one. Damn, good job. Crystal Guzman from one of our CBS affiliates from Long Island says these monsters look similar to the Caco demons in Doom. When I was a teen, I called these the Big Tomato. Good job by Dora there. She hit the dump button before that got out. Good looking Dora. Crystal Guzman, she worked with my daddy in LA at one point. Oh yeah, I'm on the air. If Crystal is correct, these are the same demonic figures that were in Liberty County. Going over to Swindelberg Heights, FBI and other authorities are investigating on how reported 200 or more residents have died. These are pretty freaky circumstances, as the FBI has brought in some paranormal experts such as perhaps psychologists for their expertise. No one is allowed to enter the village. WSOL 1130M, a religious station in the area, was on the air at around 9:55 p.m. Since then, some very strange sounds are being broadcasted on that station. WSOL hosts the Paul Haney Ministries show, where Reverend Paul Haney had been arrested with interfering with a police operation. Haney sent late YouTubers Jordan and Brian Parrish to fly in a temporary non-flying zone to interfere with Operation Ventana Distraction. The 2 crashed the plane while losing control. Dumbasses. Wait a minute. Are you kidding me? Hey. Whoa, this is interesting news. Reports coming in from Akron, Ohio that Reverend Paul Haney was arrested at a house just a half hour ago. The home is a suspected meth house. I kinda wonder if he knows if his station is having some trouble now. Hey. This story is still developing at the moment.
The emergency alert system has been activated to transmit this emergency message from the Pennsylvania Emergency Management or PEM. A demonic presence originating from Centralia has moved its way to the town of Orestes. It is yet unknown on what kind of inhuman creatures that are present in both of these towns at this time. Due to the circumstances that have occurred in Indiana, Ohio, Michigan and in Florida, the governor has ordered the Pennsylvania National Guard to enter the area of Centralia and Orestes. Residents in the counties of Columbia, Monter, Luzerne and Schuylkill are highly advised to stay alert at this time due to the situation possibly spilling over to these areas. Residents of the areas of Orestes, Ashland, Locustdale, Merriman, Fountain Springs, Wilburton No. 1, Wilburton No. 2, Mount Carmel and Centralia are highly advised not to fight the creatures, unless it is absolutely necessary. Most creatures that have escaped whichever dimension going into ours are more physically capable to handle gunfire better than of humans. These creatures can be killed with more powerful weapons, such as an AR-15. If you are within a threatening range of creatures, use the AR-15 or similar power weapon to fire at the creature. Please stay tuned to local media for further updates.
This is WQZT 1350 AM, Mount Carmel's conservative news and talk radio serving the Mount Carmel area. I'm Josh Skillington, the program director, and I'm here all night to be your voice while we deal with this very horrific situation that is perhaps on its way to Mount Carmel. That is where I am at right now, where the station is located. I'm currently drunk right now, but it's all right here. I can do the job while drunk. I have 2 assault rifles, and I'm willing to kick some demon ass if need be. Let me take a drink. Now let me tell you something, folks. Even though our government isn't saying so, hell is on earth right now. Believe me, hell is on earth. And it's starting here in America. Why isn't it starting in that liberal bath of nonsense of California? I have no idea. But hell is on earth, and I think the reason why is the way things are going here in the United States. Last year, we elected a Democratic president. I'm a God-fearing Republican, and I've been that all my life. I pray to God almost every day, but I think God is finally pissed off at us. Now let me take a drink. Now, these Democrats, they have been trying their damnedest to take away our guns. Well, let me tell you something, Democrats. This situation here is a good damn reason to have more assault rifles laying around. With that Amityville situation, the authorities there missed one of these monsters, and they headed over to an area where 2 citizens with AR-15s took care of that monster and sent it back to hell where it came from. And I'm not trying to give crap to those authorities. Those cops and even the FBI and National Guard, they got to see firsthand how horrific these damn things from hell look like. Props to these folks in the front lines, just like what's going on here. But folks, we did survive zombies. We survived aliens, but we won't survive hell on earth. And you can thank these Democrats and how they allow our country to be the secular mess that it's heading to. I'm going to take a drink here and do an update. What the hell was that? Folks, I think this one of these things is in the studio. I'm going to send it back to hell. Go back to hell where you came.